Hi everyone, it's Lisa and welcome to the Stamp Studio. We have just finished Christmas and I don't know about you, but my holiday was beautiful. And now we're winding down the new year. And with that comes New Year's cards, and here is a beautiful simple card for you to create to send to someone for a Happy New Year. Now I don't know about you, but some of you have told me that you don't find time to get your Christmas cards done, although your intentions are great. So send out New Year's cards. Stick a small family newsletter or even a photo inside, and even if you don't have time for that, just sign it and send it off. Come on over to the stamp table and let's get started, and I'll show you how to make it. I'm going to be using the stamp set called Making Spirits Bright. I love the stamp set and I am so going to miss it come January 5th when it's retired from the holiday catalog. So make sure you order it now before it's a goner. We're going to use these champagne glasses along with a Happy New Year theme. Starting with a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is cut 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to use my bone folder just to fold it in half. I've then cut a second layer of white cardstock, and this measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. This is where I'm going to be adding some washi tape. I'm using the Watercolor Wonder Trio, and I'm going to use the gold one first because I'm going to put that one down the center. Now you're going to need a little bit longer than the actual width of the card because remember you're going on a diagonal. And I'm going to use my grid sheet to kind of make it as straight as I possibly can. So there's my first line. And then I'm going to use another piece above it and a piece below it. In this case, I'm going to leave a small separation of white cardstock in between the layers of the paper, just so that you can appreciate the designs of the washi tape a little bit better in the last row here. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim away what I don't need. You can also wrap it to the back if you prefer. It's entirely up to you. Here's the front of our card. Next, I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock and a piece of Brush Gold cardstock. This is going to be for the focal point of the image. This piece is 2 1/4 by 2 3/4, and this one's just 1/4 inch bigger, so 2 1/2 by 3. I'm going to be stamping the cocktail glasses in the basic gray ink, and those are going to go right on here. This is going to get mounted on top of the Brush Gold cardstock with some snail adhesive, and then I'm going to use some dimensionals on this. I'm actually going to put a few small pieces on the back here. This Brush Gold cardstock is just shimmery beautiful. And that's going to go here on the front of my card. Now you're going to notice that I haven't added any color yet, and I'll explain to you why in a minute. This layer is going to be white on white, so I'm going to put more dimensionals on the back. Now if you don't like that, you can just use your adhesive. I just want my card to stand up a little bit more, and I am going to put one in the center just to kind of keep the card from bowing when it gets through the mail. Then I'm going to create a border on the front of the card. Next thing I'm going to do is rhinestones. I'm going to take a few of these using my paper piercing tool because they already have adhesive on the back. These little glue dots are wonderful. And I'm just going to add a few of those right to my project to represent the shimmery bubbles. And then I'm going to stamp my words. Baked brown sugar and the gold paper seem to match very well. So this says Happy New Year. This is all from the same set. And I'm going to stamp that down here at the bottom. Dead last, we're going to use the gold dazzling details. Now I say last because it's going to take time to dry, so you want to make sure the whole card is assembled first. Always use a scrap piece of paper to make sure that it's coming out right. Ask me how I know that. This one's got a little bit dry on the tip, so I'm going to wipe it off, and I'm just going to squeeze it to make sure it's flowing, and it is. So I'm going to put a drop of that here in the middle of my cocktail glass. And then I'm going to use the tip just to move it around. And I'm not actually squeezing out much more unless I need it. I'm just spreading it through the inside of my glass. Same on this side. With dazzling details, I have found that less is more because then you can actually manage the coverage of it without it coming out too thick and too clumpy. Also great for 3D paper projects as well. So how simple is that for our New Year's card? Happy New Year, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another paper crafting project. Have a good one.